Hello, everyone. My name is Evan Steinberger, and in this section, I'm going to be going over narrative fidelity. The main question of narrative fidelity is, does the story ring true and humane? Walter Fisher believed that a story has fidelity when it provides good reasons to guide our future actions. Thus, values are what set the narrative paradigm's logic of good reasons apart from the rational world paradigm's mere logic of reasons. The logic of good reasons centers on five value-related issues. Number one, the values embedded in the message. Number two, the relevance of those values to decisions made. Number three, the consequences of adhering to those values. Number four, the overlap with the worldview of the audience. Number five, conformity with what the audience members believe is an ideal basis for conduct. Fisher believed that people tend to prefer accounts that fit with what they view as truthful and humane. But what specific values guide audiences as they decide a story's truth or fidelity? Fisher suggests that there is an ideal audience that identifies the humane values a good story embodies. He states that there is an actual community of people who believe values of truth, the good, health, wisdom, temperance, or sobriety, courage, justice, friendship, and oneness with the cosmos, as differently as those values may be practiced in real life. He admits that there may be other communities that exist, like ones based off of greed and power, but he suggests that people will eventually be confronted by the better parts of themselves. Fisher believes that the particular values of the ideal audience help us determine which stories are reliable and trustworthy. The text relates the Christine Ford testimony to narrative fidelity by explaining that certain idealistic audience values are prevalent within the testimony. It explains that Brett Kavanaugh showed no remorse for Christine's mental health, as being sexually harassed is nothing anyone should have to go through. It also evaluates how the drunken behavior that Kavanaugh displayed that night was the exact opposite of the temperance you'd want to see in a Supreme Court justice. It also dives into the thought that Ford claimed it was a civic duty of hers to report the incident, as having Kavanaugh receive a lifetime seat on the Supreme Court would be a mockery of justice, and how Ford showed courage by even sharing her story even after she received multiple threats after the fact. Do the values embedded in Christine Ford's story guarantee that it will ring true? Will they assure the audience that the story has fidelity? In this particular case, they definitely won't if they have little care for mental health, temperance, justice, and courage. According to Fisher's narrative paradigm, you can and will judge whether a story is reliable and trustworthy based off of the values held by the people who make up your ideal audience.